Hi there, this is Chris Klein, Director of Butterfly Ridge Butterfly Conservation Center here in Southeast Ohio. And I can see through the lens of my camera, I'm giving you a lovely shot of our yellow tool shed here. I'll give you something prettier to look at here pretty soon. But we're getting kind of late in the season here, and in fact you might notice I'm wearing my sweatshirt. Nature Center got down to 50 degrees this morning, so it's starting to get a little on the chilly side in the mornings. But I wanted to show you our prairie today in today's Landscaping for Life video. But I first wanted to show, and I'll try to do this without making you stare in the blinding sun, I wanted to show you what our fields up here on this ridge top looked like before we started working on them. And I don't know, some of you might think actually they look pretty good. I don't know. Well, maybe instead of talking I should just swing the camera around and let you take a look here. So this section of field we haven't really done anything with, and you can see this time of year it's a lot of early goldenrod. Actually, we probably got 2 or 3 different species of goldenrods in here. Early goldenrod, gray goldenrod, some of it might even be Canada goldenrod at this point. A lot of heath aster, which is what this right here is. Okay, that's heath aster there. And then really there's only 2 grasses that we had in here, and absolutely the most common grass was this. Okay, that's broom sedge. It's I think in this genus Andropogon, if I recall. And then we also had a little bit, if I can find something to show you here. There we go. It's going to be hard to see in the camera, but so right here, okay, that is purple top. Also, some folks call it grease grass. And that was the extent of what these fields look like. And unfortunately, these fields weren't very butterfly friendly. The butterflies would use the heath aster to a degree as a late season nectar. Our butterflies completely ignored the goldenrod. I mean, seriously, completely ignored the goldenrod. The broom sedge, I kind of hate to say it about a native plant, but the broom sedge is kind of a junk grass. Typically it's an indicator of abused land, and as many of you know the Butterfly Ridge story, I've got my family to thank for that. So that's what we started with. That's what our slate looked like when we got started. And I wanted to show you what it looks like now after we've kind of tinkered with things. Okay, here we go. And so what we did, we converted approximately 1.5 acres of this ridge top into tall grass prairie. And so the grass that's right behind me here, this big tall stuff, that is big blue stem. And we're going to walk on around here a little bit. And whoop, there goes the spice bush swallowtail. Okay, now this grass right behind me, this is Indian grass here. Some other grasses that we planted. We added more of the purple top. We also added little blue stem, which I'm going to try to get to show it to you here. There we go. There's our little blue stem. And then we also added, and this might be kind of hard to find and maybe even harder for you to see, we also added side oats grama. Excuse me for not looking at you at the moment as I try to find some of the side oats grama in here. Okay, here we go. Found a little bit. So that right there, okay, that is the side oats grama. The reason we added all these grasses is primarily for grass skippers, to give them extra habitat. Common wood nymph, they use the grasses up here as a caterpillar host plant. And I'll be honest, the grasses make really good habitat for other things too. Yesterday I was walking out through here and was just absolutely amazed the number of dragonflies that were actually just resting here in the grasses, and as I walked through, kind of spooked them up and they started flying. Now, I understand that what we've done here may not necessarily work in your residential front lawn. Okay, most HOAs, most neighbors are probably going to pitch a fit if your lawn looks like what I'm showing you right now. But so what I'm proposing here is not necessarily on a residential garden scale. What I'm showing you here is more on a habitat level scale. So if you have, if your property is a couple of acres rather than a little quarter-acre residential lot, this is something you might want to consider, because once again, all these nice big tall grasses provide great habitat for the different grass skippers, common wood nymphs, a variety of different kinds of creatures. And as always, one of the things we really like to point out is we like to share the wealth, so to speak. And so we will have, as you can see, okay, kind of swing you around so you can see around here. We're going to have plenty of seed that we can share, and we are all about sharing seed here. So give me a shout if you're interested in having seed of any of these. Primarily the seed we're going to have available is going to be the big blue stem, the Indian grass, to a lesser degree the side oats grama. Not sure if we're going to have any of the little blue stem. And while we're talking about the grasses out here, let me share one thing. If I had this prairie to do all over again, I probably would have cut back some on the tall prairie grasses and probably would have concentrated more heavily on the short grass like the little blue stem and the side oats gramas and the purple tops. Because one of the things I have found, and actually got a neat little example right here, the ironweed right there, what we're finding is a lot of our pollinators are having trouble finding the wildflowers in here this time of year because the grass is just so tall that it's hard for them to get to the nectar sources that are in here. Not sure how we will tinker with that. I might kind of go through on a small scale and maybe remove, till up some of this tall grass and replace it in pockets with short grasses and try to make nectar more available that way. But just something to think about, so an observation that we've made. And so with that, I'll close out this episode of Landscaping for Life. And if you have questions, feel free to email. If you want seed, feel free to email for that too. Okay. And we're still, Butterfly Ridge is still open. We still have butterflies. Did our September transect on Monday, September 2nd. Counted 66 individual butterflies and 16 species. So we still got plenty of bugs out here. So once again, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gives you some things to think about. And so until next time, bye.